All right, we're going to do the quiz review for completing the square and quadratic formula. So we're going to go ahead and start with completing the square. First thing that you're going to notice is that my C is already on the right side. So I'm ready to go ahead and rewrite my equation. X squared plus 12x plus line is equal to 13 plus line, parentheses, parentheses squared. And now I'm ready to fill in. I'm going to take half of 12. Half of 12 is going to be 6. Because the 12 is positive, it's going to be a plus 6. If this were minus 12, it would be a negative or minus 6. I'm going to square the 6, and that's going to give me 36. Brother-sister rule says I'm going to add 36 to both sides. When I add 36 and 13, I get 49, and I put my x in to complete the parentheses. Now I'm going to square root both sides. That's going to take care of getting rid of the square. This is going to be x plus 6 is equal to positive and negative 7. I'm going to break that down into two equations. X plus 6 is equal to 7. X plus 6 is equal to negative 7. 0 pair out my 6's. X is equal to 1. X is equal to negative 13. My two roots are negative 13 and 1. All right, the next one. I'm going to need to 0 pair out the 9 to get it over onto the right side. So negative 9, 0 pair the 9 out. I'm going to have x squared plus 8x plus line is equal to negative 9 plus line. Put my parentheses down here with my square, and now I'm ready to go. This is a positive 8, so half of positive 8 is 4. If this was minus 8, it would be negative 4. So I'm going to go ahead and put my plus 4 here. I'm going to square it. This is going to be 16. When I add the 9 and the 16, I get 7, and I put my x in here because x squared will give me the x squared. I'm going to square root both sides. That's going to knock out that square. X plus 4 is equal to, the square root of 7 is not a perfect square, so we're going to round to the nearest tenth. Positive and negative 2.6. Break that down into two equations. X plus 4 is equal to 2.6. X plus 4 is equal to negative 2.6. 0 pair my 4's. X is equal to negative 1.4. X is equal to negative 6.6. My roots will be negative 6.6 and negative 1.4. Now we're going to look at an equation. We're going to find the discriminant. In order to find the discriminant, my equation has to be in standard form. So that means I'm going to need to 0 pair out the negative 12. So 0 pair the 12. I have 2x squared minus 9x plus 12 is equal to 0. Now I'm in standard form. I'm going to find my a. A is going to be the coefficient of the x squared, so that's going to be 2. B is going to be the coefficient of x, that's going to be negative 9. And C is going to be 12. The discriminant formula is b squared minus 4ac. The discriminant is equal to negative 9. Make sure you put your parentheses in so you get your sign correct on your calculator. Minus 4 times 2 times 12. I'm going to keep change so I don't mess up my signs. The discriminant is going to equal 81 plus negative 96. The discriminant is going to be negative 15. So I have no real solutions. And I have no intercepts. So you will use your no solution symbol. All right, again, I need to get this into standard form so that I can figure out my discriminant. So I'm going to add my x, zero pair my x out. So I have 1/4 x squared plus x is equal to -1. I'm going to go ahead and zero pair out the 1. So 1/4 x squared plus x plus 1. My goodness, try that one again. 1/4 x squared plus x plus 1 is equal to 0. So now I have it in standard form. So now I'm ready to find my a, b, and c. So my a is going to be 1/4 coefficient of x squared. B is 1 coefficient of the x. C is 1, the number without the variable. My discriminant is equal to b squared minus 4ac. Discriminant is equal to 1 squared minus 4 times 1/4 times 1. Keep change to keep track of my signs. 1 plus -1. My discriminant is 0. When my discriminant is 0, I have one real solution and one intercept. Now I'm going to use quadratic formula to solve this equation. So I'm going to find my a, which is going to be 2, the coefficient of x squared. My b, which is going to be 12, the coefficient of x. And c, which is going to be 10. The formula is -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4 ac all over 2a. And that's what my x is going to equal. So that's going to give me my formula. So now I'm going to go ahead and do my substitution step. -1 times 12 plus or minus 12 squared minus 4 times 2 times 10 over 2 times 2. Now I'm going to start simplifying. This is going to be -12 plus or minus the square root of 144 minus 80. So you can keep change. So you have the -80 divided by 4. Now I have -12 plus or minus the square root of 64 divided by 4. I have -12 plus or minus the square root of 64 is 8 divided by 4. And now I'm ready to break it down into my two equations. -12 plus 8 divided by 4, -12 minus 8 divided by 4. I'm going to do keep change on that one. Now I'm going to have -4 divided by 4, which gives me -1, and -20 divided by 4, which is going to give me -5. So my two roots are going to be -5, -1. Okay. And let's see, that's 5. And here's number 6. Again, I need it in standard form, so I'm going to zero pair my 12. 2x squared minus 5x minus 12 is equal to 0. And now I'm ready to use quadratic. So I'm going to have a is equal to 2, b is equal to -5, c is equal to -12. -b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. and that's going to give me my x-intercept values. -1 times -5 plus or minus the square root of -5 squared. Remember your parentheses so you get the correct sign on your calculator. 4 times 2 times -12. And I'm going to go ahead and do keep change here to keep track of that sign. All over 2 times all over 2 times 2. That's what our A is. Okay, I'm going to have 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 plus 96 over 4. I'm going to have 5 plus or minus the square root of 121 divided by 4. I'm going to have 5 plus or minus the square root of 121 is 11 divided by 4. 5 plus 11 divided by 4. And 5 minus 11 divided by 4. I'm going to have 16 divided by 4, which gives me 4. -6 divided by 4, since that's going to be a fraction, we'll make that a decimal, rounding to the nearest tenth, which will give us -1.5. So my roots will be -1.5 and 4. Just a reminder that when you are doing to complete the square, make sure that your x squared coefficient is 1. When you're doing quadratic, it does not matter. As you can see from this one that we did, we did not have to get rid of the 2. But for completing the square, you do. And now you've reviewed for your quiz.